Less than a month after the West Pharmaceutical accident, a fatal dust explosion crippled the CTA acoustics plant in Corbin, Kentucky. The disaster at CTA, which claimed 7 lives, illustrates the critical importance of following NFPA-recommended practices to control dust hazards. The CTA facility, with more than 500 personnel, produced fiberglass acoustic insulation for automobiles. Covering 300,000 square feet, it had 5 production lines. At line 405, fiberglass was fed along a conveyor system and spread to create a web. Black phenolic resin powder was deposited onto the fiberglass. Hundreds of thousands of pounds of the combustible resin powder were used in the plant every month. Next, the mat former used air suction to spread the resin through the fiberglass. Excess powder and fibers were drawn up into a dust collector and rapidly accumulated on long cloth bags. After the mat former, a nylon facing was rolled onto the fiberglass before it entered a gas-heated curing oven. Combustible resin accumulated in the oven, resulting in frequent small fires that were extinguished by workers. During each shift, the line was shut down for cleaning. On the roof, employees routinely used compressed air to dislodge dust that had built up in the ductwork, dumping the material into a large open box on the production floor. On the production line, workers also used compressed air to blow dust off equipment. They swept the production floor with brooms. These cleaning activities created dust clouds so dense that large fans were used to blow the dust away from the operators. This increased the dispersion of dust in the plant. The dust settled on horizontal surfaces throughout the entire production area. Over years of operation, dust built up on top of pipes, electrical conduits, and other hard-to-clean elevated surfaces such as roof trusses. A pile of resin dust more than a foot deep had built up on top of the blend room due to periodic cleaning of clogged equipment. On the morning of February 20th, 2003, production line 405 was shut down for routine cleaning. The oven was still on, with one of its doors left open to control the temperature because the oven thermostat had broken weeks earlier. CSB investigators later determined that most likely a small fire, unseen by workers, had started inside the oven, fueled by a buildup of combustible resin. During cleaning, workers had discovered that a transition duct leading from the mat former to the dust collector was clogged. They used a compressed air lance to dislodge the material back through cleanout doors into the production area. Together with other cleaning activities, this created a dense dust cloud around line 405. A wall fan blew the cloud toward the open oven. The dust was ignited by the small fire inside. Flames erupted from the oven, igniting the larger dust cloud, which exploded. This was quickly followed by a second dust explosion at the other end of the production line. 4 employees nearby were injured. 1 later died from severe burns. The force of the 2 explosions shook the building and dispersed accumulated dust throughout the production area. This airborne dust fueled a quickly moving fireball, spreading west along the roof trusses toward production line 403, which was also surrounded by dust. 4 workers in this area were fatally burned. The fireball continued past line 402, fatally injuring 2 more workers, and then to line 401, where a third explosion occurred nearly 300 feet from where the first blast was ignited. 3 workers in this area were severely burned.
The 4 production lines were not adequately segregated, and this allowed the dust explosion to very quickly travel from one production line to the next to the next. And in this case, most of the employees who died were actually working a far distance from where the initial fire began.